It's the end of 2024. I figured this was a good time to go over our classes, what our favorites are. Ganto?
I don't know. I'm kind of liking all of them, but
Get out of here. You're bad for this video.
no, it's probably a good time to review them actually.
Yeah.
Review the classes, decide who's sitting where.
I can just say right now, at the beginning of this year, I hated Lore Master. It was one of my lesser classes. Same thing with Captain. But like both turned like the tides for me. Lore Master is one of my favorites right now, which is crazy. All right, let's just start with Beorning. You have played with Beorning more often than me.
As a crafting alt, yes, but I do have
True.
I do have my Beorning that I've been playing on Crick Hollow, sort of, because we started that up when you were doing your Brawler.
Yeah.
So I played around with the Beorning for a bit. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Beorning.
Yeah, Beorning's been good, but I don't think I've really played it this year. But yeah, no, bears are good. They're still, I think they're one of like the toughest classes for 2024 for sure.
Yeah.
And probably will be in 2025.
They have that nice benefit that they can pretty much do anything.
Yeah, they can heal.
They can heal, they can tank.
They're one of the best healers in raiding. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many times
they're great tanks.
We've been doing raids and it's like someone pops in with a Beorning and they're able to help heal through everything. Even like when I was doing content in the level 75 region, like I'd be doing like 3-mans, I'd be playing on my Brawler and then someone would be on a Beorning and they'd be able to heal like through everything.
Yeah.
And we'd be able to do like the tier 2 stuff, no problems.
So is Beorning S tier or what do you think?
Honestly, I'd put Beorning right up there.
Yeah.
Because they're so universal.
Yeah, they can pretty much do anything, like you've mentioned. All right, this is out of order, I realize. Let's go with Brawler next, because that's alphabetical. Brawler is my new main at the end of 2024, because chat said so, right, chat? Uh-huh. I'm not against it at all. It wasn't my first class choice I would have picked for my new main, but you know what? It's alright, it's alright.
I used to play Brawler quite heavily when I got back into the game last year.
Yeah.
It was kind of like my main.
Yeah, your Brawler is like, what, 80? 60?
76.
76, alright.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Because I've heard that Brawlers are so, like, they're good till they get to about Moria, and then they fall off until, like, level 80 something.
Yeah, I feel like I've missed my Brawler, but I haven't had the urge to go back and play it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it was pretty powerful going all the way through to Moria.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was playing, even in Blue Line, like, I was playing a lot of Blue Line for the defensive stuff, but even still, I was, like, doing a lot of damage.
I think I'm playing a Blue Line Brawler right now. Brawler is high and middle in the pack, yeah. I would say my experience with Brawler in the lower levels right now, because my Brawler's only level 30, basically, and she's been kicking some major bum, and that's a good thing. But I don't have any heals, and I don't think they get heals. I am a little bit upset, too, as a class that is also labeled as a DPS/offhand tank, that we don't really get many like aggroing kind of skills. Like I had to actually, that's what I did. I did a red line Brawler and I did one of the points into blue line so I could get that aggro skill, just in case I did any fellowshipping type of stuff. So that bumps me out, but that's for most of the offhand tank classes, I would say, for sure. Like you get one maybe, but it seems like you have to put the points into a different like class tier than what your main is, depending on what you pick. Yeah, my Brawler's alright. I don't know, where would you put it?
I feel like with the Brawler, you do get some skills that help to restore your health.
Yeah.
But they don't come until later, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure there's one you get. I don't remember if it restores your health from people attacking you, or if it restores your health based on the damage you do. But there is like 1 or 2 skills that will help restore, but you don't really have anything fellowship wide.
Yeah.
But I'd still say I'd put Brawler somewhere around the middle, because you still
middle.
Yeah, still around the middle, just because you still have the opportunity to heal yourself in Blue Line, but you can also still output damage until you get into those later parts of the game. It's a pretty balanced class in that aspect.
I don't know. I was thinking more B.
I was thinking around B.
Yeah, around B.
That's sort of around the middle. That's where I'd say.
I was like, do you want C or do we go B? All right, Burglar. The new class I've just been playing. I really haven't played Burglar much besides literally the last 2 days worth that we've done a Burglar. I think that's literally all the Burglar I've done in 2024.
Burglars are nice in the fact that they can disengage if you need to.
Yeah, they're nice. They're a fun class.
They are very fun.
I think they're fun because their skills all kind of overlap on each other. And some are like there are things that trigger other things, you know, like my critical rating needs to be so freaking high to trigger like all these other skills I can do. But I love the whole gambling aspect of Blue Line in Burglar. I would say they're a better class for more advanced players in some regard because I feel like Burglars, you either love them or you hate them. And I don't really go for many stealthy kind of classes personally, which is kind of why I've been more like, I'll play it at some point.
Burglars benefit more when there is a distraction.
Yeah, true.
Because you're going to get that positional damage when you're behind them.
Yeah.
And you really need to either stun them yourself or you need to be grouped up with someone that can take the aggro or distract them.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Burglar right now is like, if we weren't grouping, I wouldn't want to solo with it. No. It would make things just way longer and just, Burg is not bad, you said, Brewster, but lack of splash, so I say B-.
If we include the fun factor of a Burglar,
yeah, fair.
I like Yellow Line Burglar because of the tricks. What? It's a hot take.
That is a hot
Lots
take.
of people don't like Yellow Line.
Only for rating.
But I like it because you actually get better healing for yourself in Yellow Line as well.
Really?
Yeah. Because you have a trick that will restore your health and it's quite a good heal.
Nice.
But
hot take.
Yeah, like I'd probably be looking around B or C for Burglar.
I would put it at a C.
At a C?
Yeah, like it's fun and like the DPS isn't even that bad. It's just, yeah, like on a soloing aspect is where I knock it down to C, but also like if I'm just comparing it to other classes, I feel like there are other classes I would prefer to pick first over Burglar.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what I've done all year pretty much, so I don't know. You think C as well?
Let's go C.
All right. Would you put it at B?
I kind of agree with what Brewster had said about B-.
Yeah.
So in between.
Yeah, fair. What's next? Captain?
Captain.
You go, because you main a captain.
So I'm main a captain. Mm-hmm. I'm currently playing as a red line captain, simply for the damage. Two-handed.
Two-handed.
Two-handed captain.
Note that.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I didn't like captains. What changed my perspective on captains was doing a one-handed with the shield, which I did a long time ago, but I did it on a lower line, like level class or of a captain. And captains in their lower levels kind of suck. I won't lie, like it's a real big grind. The cooldowns are so massively long, but dude, I feel like I hit my captain to like 30, and then that's when I was like, this is a good class. Like it's so good because you can pretty much, it's kind of Beorning in that way where it's like you can pretty much do a little bit of anything. You can heal yourselves. There are a lot of buffs for like others, but I mean you have your pet, your companion, that you can kind of like buff up and do stuff for you too. So I just feel like with all of that, plus they're like their DPS skills get really good the higher level you get with them too. But I play mine with a shield. I feel like there's not too much of a big difference between the DPS on a one-handed and a two-handed, but the shield would give me some sort of blocking and when it like, you know, hurt me as bad. So that's why I brought a shield. But they're light armored shields, which are harder to find. But I don't know. When I get my legendary item, I might do a two-handed again because it's just easier.
Solo play, I've been very happy with just doing two-handed.
Yeah.
If I was going to be doing group content though, I would probably rather have a one-handed and a shield.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd rather probably be tanking, to be honest. Wow. Like I feel there are classes that are better for DPS than the captain. But the captain's got that benefit where they when they're on their own, you have your ally. Your ally can be your distraction if you need that. But you're able to pretty much hold your own ground as long as you don't take on more than you can handle. Like, I look at other classes, like the Beorning, for example, and I feel like you could take on a lot more enemies at once compared to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the captain is able to hold their ground on their own.
Yeah. Do you put in an A list?
I would say A or B.
Oh, I thought you were going to go S even. I'll go A. I would say A.
I'm refraining from S just because they're not, like, they're a good middle ground.
Yeah.
They can hold their own line. I wouldn't say they're able to go beyond.
Champion.
A
class I have not touched at all this year.
A class that I am just starting to touch.
Yeah.
Pretty much for the first time. So I used to have a champion back on my Brandywine days. He was just a crafter. He was just my scholar.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use him for anything else really. But I have been enjoying playing as a champion. So far, I haven't really felt any stress. Like even playing on Fearless, like I haven't felt much risk on my champion.
You haven't died on your champion. I have died on my Burglar already.
Well, besides the dying, the big thing is like I've been able to take on several enemies, and I have means to save myself if need be.
True.
It probably helps that I'm a blue line champion.
Yeah.
Because you have your bubble, and I've also got my health restore, which is quite honestly very strong.
Yeah.
For my level.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, it restores like half your health.
It's a 50% health restore.
Yeah. Holy crap. Dang. Yeah, I used to main a champ back in the day, and I liked him, but now I just really haven't had much of a desire because the big thing and selling point about champions is their AoE, but I honestly feel like half the range classes, like your Rune-Keepers and your Lore Masters and your minis, offer way better damage on the AoE section compared to champion. But the nice thing about champion is they've got the armor to back that up. Plus champions have a lot of decent bleeds too, if you build them up like that. Overall though, I kind of lean more towards like guardians lately over a champion just because of the defensive aspect of it. I feel like I'm kind of in my defensive era. I would much rather have a longer fight, I guess, than like one where I'm just slashing things and running around as much now, which is super nice, and Beornings could do that, you know, and like Rune-Keepers and minis, like they do that too. But if you're comparing it to like a guardian or a champion, I'm more likely to pick a guardian just because they have that blocking.
Well, I'm noticing that as a blue line champion, the damage isn't extreme.
Yeah.
But it's like I can still contain a group without much problem.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Where do you think we should put champion? I would say in the middle.
Like B or C?
Like C.
C? Yeah.
Sorry, hi. Alright, Guardians.
I have not touched Guardian in a hot minute.
I forgot what where did I play Guardian? I think I played a Guardian on Crick this year and on Angmar. But I don't do a shield Guardian anymore. I do a two-hander Guardian. And it's like night and day. If you play Guardian with a shield, you're playing it wrong, I feel. Unless you're raiding. Like, obviously you need a shield, okay? But like, in general, if you're soloing on a Guardian, two-handed changed my life. The DPS was spectacular. Like, my fights went from like 30 seconds, we'll say, to like a solid 15. It was crazy.
I just remember for the longest time, I'd play solo as a Guardian, sword and shield, and it just felt like an endurance run.
Yeah.
It took a long time to kill anything, but I was able to maintain my health.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic about what it's like to play as a two-handed because I haven't done that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like a plus for me has always been their defense as well, though.
Yeah, their defense is crazy.
And yeah, crazy heals.
In regards to Guardian, I think they're a good class. They're just a class that I've lacked more on, I would say. But I don't know. I feel like they're good. They're a solid A to B, in my opinion.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. But where do we put them? Do we put them on A or B?
Well, if we go based off what we saw with the sparring, I mean, they're pretty much...
They'd probably be like an A. They
they're
gotta be
pretty
with
much
the
on par
captains.
with the captain.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's actually a good point. They are pretty on par with
I'm
the
leaning
captain.
towards A.
Yeah, I would say A too, yeah. Alright, Hunter?
Hunter. I enjoy the mobility aspect of Hunters, but that's very strictly blue line. A red line, when we've been raiding on Angmar, I've been using a red line. No healing.
No healing on red line. I thought Hunters just got a utility that was just a heal.
You've got
like a basic one.
2 utilities in blue line.
Wow, okay.
But you've got pretty much nothing in red line.
That's crazy.
Same with yellow. Unless you're able to spec into blue to get press onward.
Yeah.
You're pretty limited. I feel like Hunters are a fun class. I enjoy switching between all three lines, mostly blue and yellow, just because yellow is more crowd control with your traps and all that.
Yeah.
It's not great though. Blue line, yeah, you don't have fantastic damage. You sacrifice damage for mobility.
You do.
I'd say Hunter's a fun class, but it's not great.
It needs a rework.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Hopefully in 2025 we'll get it. I'm honestly upset we didn't get it this year.
Same.
I feel like we should have had, like, if you told me what needs a rework more, Lore Masters or Hunters, I would have put Hunters 1000%. Like, Lore Masters were pretty bad. Like, now that we have the Lore Master rework, I'm like, wow, Lore Masters were really crummy, you know? But, like, no, Hunters, I feel like still needed it more. No, Hunters have one of the lowest base DPS in the game. And yeah,
even with the recent damage increase, they're still slacking.
They gave them like a 5% base damage increase. I'm sorry, 5%? No, they need like a 25% base damage. So bad. Yeah, no, I understand. People really like Hunters. They're a great beginning class, but people really love Hunters because they have range. They have all these milestone skills, which is nice, but honestly, I get annoyed by too many milestone skills. I find it more of a disadvantage. But it's nice because you can port others with you. I get it. I get those perks. But on a DPS scale, oh my god, I would much rather play any other class besides Hunters. Please.
Hunters are very much a utility class.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about Hunter. You've been playing a Hunter on Egmar.
I used to main a Hunter when I first played the game.
Yeah, I used to main a Hunter for a certain period of time. Believe it or not. I know that they used to be good. I mean, they were fine. They're fun. But, like, let's be honest. They slacken big time. And it's not even the Hunter's fault. It's just the team, the development on them. It just they haven't gotten as much love.
Yeah, whenever I think of Hunter, I don't think of them for their damage. I think of them as a utility class.
Yeah,
and that's
same.
where I'm like, you've got your ports, you've got your campfire you can chuck down, but even that's only good out of combat.
Yeah.
You've got trap skills, which are good for immobilizing, but that's only on one target, unless you're in yellow line, where you have your scarecrow, should I say?
Oh yeah.
Your scarecrow, you're exploding decoy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah, I'm honestly leaning D.
Wow, you're leaning D.
I'm leaning D.
Guys, I did not tell Ganto to do that. This is all based on his own personal. I mean, I would go F.
You do F.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. I'll be nice and I'll go D, okay?
D.
For the ports. That's cool, All right, Lore Master.
Lore Master's been fun.
They sucked in the beginning of the year,
did.
My golly, they're like S tier.
I recently did a 1 to 60 playthrough with a Lore Master, and I did not struggle at all.
No.
I tested out jumping through the different lines, and I think ultimately I decided to stick with a red. The companions aren't as important anymore.
Yeah, they're not.
They're really not important. Red line is OP.
Red line is OP. Like, I think they have the best DPS. I mean, heck, I think it's even higher than Beorning's DPS. Like, I think it's probably the best in the game right now. I've been playing a blue line Lore Master on Egmar just because I find the wraiths difficult for me, but it's just because I want a distraction, as you would say.
A distraction.
So that's where the pets come in.
A decoy.
Yeah. But honestly, now that my Lore Master is up to like 50, honestly, I'm going to switch her over to red and then slay because the DPS is crazy. I don't think the pets are as necessary in Lore Master now, which I really was upset about when they did the rework. But if they keep the DPS how it is, like, I'm not going to be that upset about it anymore because, oh my god, they can slay everything. And they've got so many AoE abilities too.
Yeah. I remember, I think I was running through Cardalin. Like, I pretty much just stepped over Tharbad, and I was running around, and it's like your simple lightning skill with a Lore Master. I was one-shotting enemies on level.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember watching you do that. I was like, oh!
And I'm like, okay, Lore Masters, I know you got to rework. I know you're more powerful, but you shouldn't be able to one shot with this skill.
They shouldn't. They should honestly. Yeah, they need to get pushed back a wee bit.
And even when they did that update with they reduced the damage for the Lawmaster. They reduced it by how much? 5%?
Yeah, it was like 5 to 10.
And I'm like,
something like that.
This is still OP.
Kiki, haven't played a Loremaster in forever, at least 5 years. This is the year. 2025, going into 2025, that is the thing I will tell everybody. Play a Loremaster. If you never liked Loremaster or it was too complicated for you, it doesn't matter. I used to hate Loremaster. I started this game on a Loremaster. I almost quit this game because I did not like a Loremaster. And then I switched to a Hunter, and then I love this game. And yes, I said a Hunter. Crazy.
My highest level Loremaster prior to the update would have been like level 32, and I hadn't touched them in like 6 years.
Yeah, same. Anyway, Loremaster, we know where this goes, right?
Yeah.
We know. Up. No. No. Yeah.
Uppity up to the top.
Yeah, to the top. All right, Mariner? Yeah, that's a class. It's a complicated class, and it's still quite complicated. They have a lot of skills in that class.
They do.
Which, that was one of my things when the class first came out. I was like, can we please not have as many skills? And they were like, psych. They're like that weird subsection of LOTRO. Like, when I think of like a weird subsection of classes in LOTRO, I think of Mariner, Burglar, and Warden, where they're all kind of complicated in a weird way. Mariner is like a Warden, but like a easier Warden. They are way easier than Warden in terms of like playstyle and learning, but Mariners really slack. Like, do they have heals? I feel like they have a few.
Mariners do have heals.
They lack on AoE unless you go yellow, which sucks really bad. But I understand they're more like, you're supposed to be hitting people in the front, and it's a single target class, so I'm like, I get it.
They have that positional, whether you want to call it a disadvantage or bonus, where you have to be striking from the front.
Yeah. No one even know what Mariner does. Honestly, yeah, Brewster, I feel like I don't see Mariners really raiding. I don't really feel like they fit in really anywhere. Like, they kind of are sucking on the soloing aspect, and the grouping aspect, they struggle. Like, I feel like Mariners are very much a calculated class, and unless you're like very calculated and knowing all the weak points or disadvantages of the thing you're fighting, it's not really a good class besides that.
I feel like there's still, because they're the newest class, they're still quite new. I haven't had a lot of experience with them, but I feel like it's going to take a bit more to learn them than what it took to learn the Warden.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I never played Warden a lot. I was playing it through the end of last year into this year. I enjoyed the Warden, but the Mariner, it's a different mechanic.
It is.
Like, it's kind of like if a Rune-Keeper and a Warden had a child.
Yeah.
And you've got your pivot, your seesaw, as it were, but it punishes you more.
Yeah, I like that though, because I feel like Wardens are OP because they don't have a punishment.
They don't. Yeah, that's right.
I think that's why I like Mariner in that regard.
It keeps you on your feet more.
Yeah, you have to be, it's almost like Burglar in that way, where you have to really look over your skills to see how they all kind of like counteract with each other, or how they like work together and all of that. But yeah, I don't know, Mariners in a way feel like a wannabe Warden, but to make it easier for people who don't like Wardens to maybe learn them. But I almost feel like they're just as like complicated as Burglars, which makes people not want to play a Mariner. And I really don't know what their purpose is. Like, what do they do good at? I feel like they're good at single target damage, but Brawlers have way more DPS in that regard comparison to a Mariner, so... They
were also added in kind of as a swashbuckling Corsair option.
Yeah.
Like, they came in par with the Corsairs of Umbar, which was all about, what are the Corsairs in the ocean and pirates and swashbuckling. So that's pretty much what the Mariner is. It's a fan service to support the update.
Ooh, yeah. Fan service to support the update. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you explained that so well.
I wouldn't say they're a terrible class, but from my perspective, I haven't taken enough time to learn them.
It's honestly like this. If you take the time to learn a Mariner, you'll understand Warden. I feel like Wardens are still harder to understand and learn than a Mariner, but if you take the time to understand a Mariner, at that point, just play a Warden. Yeah. Because Wardens are they're tougher, they're more durable, they have range and melee, and you can just like heal yourself. You've got buffs, like you've got all this more flexibility in comparison to Mariner. You know, do we put Mariner on D?
I don't know if I'd go D. I'd still probably say C.
Really?
Yeah.
I would go D. Like, what's the point of
They still have utility.
What's the point of hunters now?
Well, they still have more utility than Hunter does. And their survivability is better.
I don't think their DPS is much better than a
I wouldn't say their DPS is anything awesome.
Yeah. Since you got to 150, it's super rare to see a Mariner doing stuff. Yeah. I think that's the thing, too, is that the Mariner is still a new class. I mean, this class came out, what, a year ago?
A year ago.
So, like a year and a half ago, maybe even. Like, there's still a new class, so you're not going to find many high-level Mariners. But, yeah, I don't really see people opting to play a Mariner. And that's the thing.
Well, a good example is looking at Crit Collar right now. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mariners. So there's 6 people playing a Mariner out of the 263 entries.
Wow.
There's one that's 150. And then I look at Lawmasters, I look at Hunters, I look
at Burglars, because I think Burglars are one of the lower
1, 2, 3
classes.
2 Brawlers showing.
2 Brawlers.
3 Beornings.
6 Mariners on Crick is insane, said hi.
Yeah. I guess another thing I would mention on the Mariner, you need to be able to memorize things. You need to be able to remember combos.
Well, yeah.
And it's not a class you could really play casually. If you take long breaks, you're going to have to relearn things. And it's going to take a lot more to relearn a Mariner or a Warden compared to other classes.
I would say on the combo thing, I feel like Mariner and Burglar are the same in regards to their combos. Like, I don't feel like it's not much to learn, but it's like once you've got it and you've got the rhythm and you've got the line sorted out, like, you're good. I agree and disagree.
Okay. Yeah. So where would you be putting the Mariner?
I'd put him on D, personally, but you say C, so we can put C.
Well, I saw a comment earlier, Brewster was saying that Hunters are better, so why not just put them the same?
I would say they're the same in terms of DPS based, in terms of who's using them right now. But like, Hunters are fine for soloing.
Yeah.
Probably more so than Mariners, in all honesty, for being frank. But I think Hunters right now, like rating, they're not even wanted. Mariners probably kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't feel like they're much needed. Honestly, I'll even say the same for Brawlers, but at least Brawlers are at least more durable.
Mariners can just hop in that boat and sail away.
Yeah, they can get out of here. All right, Minis. Minstrel, the class I will forever love.
Minis hold a place in our heart.
Yeah.
I've been playing a mini a lot on Angmar. Last time I played a mini was 4 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yep. Prior to that, they're good.
I would say minis are still great, but like, honestly, I've heard a lot of rumblings that arcades are better. Rune-Keepers. It seems like minstrels are slowly becoming outdated.
I feel that too.
They're still a great class, like DPS, AoE, like range, like, oh my gosh, still great. But like, in comparison to like a Rune-Keeper or even a Lore Master now, I'm like, I feel like minis are slowly becoming outdated in that regard, where it's like, you might as well just pick one of the others.
The mini is more of an all-rounder, but I feel like when I think of a mini, I would probably lean more towards they should be there for healing.
Yeah.
And they aren't.
They're not used for
They're
that.
not really up there as a mini. Well, sorry. They're not really up there as like a top healer anymore.
Yeah, they're not. They're mostly used for DPS and raids.
A good example is, I'm going to go to a game called Warframe. There is a class called Trinity, and Trinity recently got a rework. I haven't had a look into it. I have no idea if it's good or bad, but Trinity was like your healer. Like, everyone would run around with Trinity if they wanted healing in missions and stuff like that. And then they started introducing more classes, and they all had better damage and better healing. But yeah, like, Mini is kind of turning into what Trinity became.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was kind of there for the purposes of healing, but it became outdated.
I really like the minis ranged AoE skills.
Redline ranged AoE.
Yes, redline. Yeah, redline. Thank you. Yeah. I feel like minstrels have one of the longest, like, furthest range, like, as well for skills, because my Rune-Keeper can't even touch some things that some minstrels are already hitting. So I think that's also a big perk to them.
I often find myself queuing up like 3 or 4 ranged AoE skills on the mini if I'm in solo, just because they have that big AoE.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, like they're better for damage than healing these days.
Yeah, which is so weird. I don't know. I'm thinking like B, A, B, B,
Probably B.
B. Yeah,
I'd say
think of
B.
B. It's a B kind of class, eh? All right. Well, Rune-Keeper, my main. They have such crazy. It's like a hunter, but like a mini had a baby. And the way that their mobility, at least in Yellow Line Rune-Keeper, is crazy good, especially with their AoE, insane. Like I can one shot things, and I
Yeah.
feel like you could one shot things even earlier in the gameplay for Rune-Keepers. Even though now I'm maining a 150 Rune-Keeper. Or at least I did. Yeah, Rune-Keepers are crazy on the AoE DPS scale. And I play Yellow Line, which isn't even the best. Red Line is the best DPS on Rune-Keeper, which is, you know, it's kind of like Hunter in that way, Red Line, where you have to sacrifice mobility for yellows, but Red Line, it's like the DPS is even 20 times more insane, but you're standing still, you know?
I think a big highlight of the Rune-Keeper and Yellow Line as well, like if you're looking at it compared to mobility with a hunter, you still have inductions as a hunter. Whereas Rune-Keeper, Yellow Line, you've got a lot of lightning-based skills, and those have no inductions.
Yep, it's amazing. I love it. I love the lightning. It's so cool. You can be Emperor Palpatine. I love it. Yeah.
That's Star Wars reference, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Forgot. Wrong crowd. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about Rune-Keepers. They're like, what?
I'd put them up there as one of the better healers.
Yeah, they're 100%. A better
100%.
Healer. They've got better DPS. And I feel like their skills aren't really complicated to learn, which is nice. Just as a side note entirely, but...
They have your red and green bar.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The attunement bar.
Your attunement bar, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not difficult to learn.
No, not at all. It's basically like on the attunement bar, if you keep hitting like more DPS skills and you'll do higher DPS or whatnot, and then if you do more heals and you do more heals like back to back to back, and on the other side of the bar you'll have like a bigger heal pop off and all of that. So yeah, really easy to understand. But yeah, all around a good class. I don't even feel like they're super weak against other enemies. I don't think it takes them long to get through stuff. It's kind of like more of an easier class, I would say. So it might not be as fun for some people because, you know, it's kind of like Beorning in some regards. It's OP on the AoE range, we'll say.
You definitely have those options to break out of bad situations as well. You have decent stuns in Yellow Line. You have your AoE stun, which also gives you shield.
Mm-hmm.
Your bubble.
I was gonna say the bubbles on Rune-Keeper are insane if you go Blue Line, which is very needed for raiding. Like I think there's like 3 bubbles I've got on Blue Line. Yeah, good class. I would say just stick it at A.
I'd go A.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least,
the Warden.
The class I've talked the most crap about. I've changed my perspective. No, that's where it used to go. Okay. Oh crap. Okay, it's gonna be on F tier for now. Okay, just to show where it was in the beginning of 2024 on my list anyway. Yeah, no, Wardens are crazy good. I can't believe I said that, but
get that in writing.
They're good because I didn't realize that a lot of the gambits stack on each other, and that's why we have gambits, because that was my biggest complaint, was that why don't we just have advanced skills, and why don't we do it like that? I don't want to do like this memorization technique. And yes, they take forever to learn. Yes, it's gonna be a pain in the butt that you got like 60 some freaking gambits to learn. It's stupid to some extent. Okay, they should just give us less. But no cooldowns. That's like a huge perk, I feel. You've got buffs, you've got debuffs, you've got heals, you've got power regen, like skills, which I've not really seen on any class. Like
stuns.
Yeah, stuns. Lots of DPS. Yeah. Single target DPS. You want some AoE DPS? We got you. Like, it's got everything. So it's a very flexible class in that regard. I feel like Warden is still a little weak in some regards though. But I think that's just because of the Warden I've been playing. I haven't really focused on her gear much. Like once I got her weapons up a little bit, I felt like she got more powerful. But as like an offhand take, I haven't had the best experience. But as like a DPS based class, it's great. and it's flexible. It's
You
amazing.
You can be a tank, you can be a DPS, you can choose to be ranged or melee.
Yes, that's also, and what's nice about that too, you can choose ranged or melee, like in the middle of a battle. You know, on minis, that's one thing we didn't talk about either, was stances, and how you have to like commit to one,
Yeah.
like in the midst of a battle. You don't have to do that with Warden. Like Rune-Keeper, you don't have to do that, which is like nice, you know. That's what makes Rune-Keeper stand out for minis. In regards of Warden, you don't have to pick that either. Like you can go range mid battle or you can go melee mid battle, and you can like pick it. So that was also a game changer too, because I was like, sweet.
I think you can switch between them as a mini, between your stances,
Yeah.
but there is an induction.
Yeah, I think
so. It's not as immediate.
But yeah, no, I think regarding Wardens, I think they're great. I just, you know, had a struggle bus learning them personally, which is where I made all those videos where I was like, they suck, they're the worst class, you know, and they are the worst class to learn because it takes so dang long. But once you get the hang of it, dude, they're great. They're like, they're really good on the flexibility aspect and the DPS aspect, and the fact that they've even got a shield on top of everything else is crazy. It's like a hunter and a guardian had a baby, but like they like complicated the heck out of learning it.
But the payoff is so good.
Yeah.
If you're willing to commit the time to learn the Warden,
yeah,
your payoff is going to be so good.
Yeah.
Especially because you can pretty much target everything you need between your crowd control, your corruptions, your healing, your damage, your bleeds. Like you've got all of those options.
I bleed the heck out of everything on my
Yes.
Warden. It's great.
AoE bleeds are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. I have been maining a Warden on Ingmar. She's level 60 now since Moria's come out, and it's been fun. I don't know. I would put Warden, I'd put it on A tier for me.
A.
Yeah.
I'm going A tier.
I was like, no longer F. Come a long way.
All the way to A.
Well, this is our tier list that we made up based off of just, you know, our general feelings on classes that we played some time throughout this year, and just in general, from our personal experiences, but also, you know, keeping in mind DPS and, you know, heal bonuses and all that too. So hopefully this gives you some understanding or idea of like what you might want to look for in a new class that you might be playing next year. At the end of 2025, I would be curious to see where this list is at then, because I feel like hunters will go up, because they'll definitely have their rework. Cross fingers. If the rework doesn't come out in 2025, SSG, I'm coming for you. No, I'm kidding.
I predict if they don't do anything with minis are going to fall off more.
Yeah, I think mini will fall further down. I think Burglar might go down a wee bit too.
I'd like to see Mariner go up, but that's going to be, for me, it's going to be more about getting more familiar with the class.
Yeah, I think Mariner will go up. I feel like they'll make small adjustments to Mariner, but I feel like they're going to do one that's just going to really stick and people are going to be like, this is great, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, Lore Master's probably going to come down because they're a wee bit too much. I feel like Beornings will probably stay where they're at.
Lore Masters will probably stay where they are, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do some more damage reduction.
Yeah.
I would expect that their damage is going to be decreased more.
Yeah, for sure.